where are the biggest, most interesting sites that you guys feel are kind of ripe for, an opportunity for Canada Lands?
Well, there's multiple of them. You could see all of them on the land bank, except the one that are home and are single home or things like that. We also in budget 2024 got the authority to convert buildings into residential. We have the authority to work on, there's a few property we're working on. Tunney's Pasture, 121 acre in the middle of Ottawa. As an example, there's a lot of building on it, but it was just approved. The new plan was just approved by the NCC, National Capital Commission, to really make it a lot more housing than, and that's probably, don't quote me on this, but 9,000 residents.
Wow.
To be built. And that's right along the transit, the LRT in Ottawa. That's a perfect place to develop and to have, again, a walkable community. These are some of the sites we're working on. These are in partnership with PSPC because they're still building, are still occupied and things like that. So we'll have a real mix of office and
residential. Have you implemented some of these conversions? Like, have you guys? We see it in Edmonton and Calgary a little bit, right? Because they're trying to reduce their office by 6.5 million square feet or something like this. And there's incentives and all that stuff. But have you seen that outside of, have you done it in Edmonton, Calgary, or have you seen it outside of those markets?
We haven't done it, to be honest, Canada Lands yet. That's a new authority we're getting in budget 2024. But we've seen it done in Ottawa as an example. I know at least of 2 buildings that have been converted into residential. And there's another one underway. They were not federal building, they were private buildings.
Okay.
So it's feasible.
Yeah.
Depending on the shape of the building, some of these large government building, 25,000 square feet per floor, forget it. In my head, I can't see how you could put condos in there unless you get 6-bedroom condo and none of them with windows and that kind of thing.
Slivers.
Yeah. Or you have, 80 feet this way and then you have a window, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a lot, depending on the way the building was built, there's still a lot of them that could be feasible to convert, right?
Yeah. Somebody should just rebrand like bowling alley condos. They should just make those cool. If you could attach something cool, get a couple TikTokers in there, I think maybe you could convince the general population that it's workable.
Yeah.
And you have full visibility right down the hall,
Do you plan on doing any of these like yourselves or similar style what you've done previously where you're just going to entitle it and then sell it off with
I think with the right partner, we're open to any model. And that's what I've been doing in the last year is talking to investor, because, I said we're financing our own development, but if we want to accelerate, if we want to go faster, build more homes now, at some point you need a significant amount of cash to, like infrastructure, everything that you need to be putting and preparing those parcels to be sold. We're open to all kind of partnership with the private sector. And I would see, and we've built building in the past. I was looking at our newsletter yesterday in 401 Burrard. It's an office building that we built ourselves as project manager. Vancouver. And, could we do that again? Absolutely. So we're looking at how can we deliver home faster on federal land? And really, we're open to any combination of leasing land, partnering, putting the land and let's say a building as a joint venture and bringing that share to and see how we can get, because conversion of building is not the panacea of building housing, right? It's not the easiest thing in the world.
No.
And there's a fair amount of risk. There's a fair amount of expenditure also. And the profit margin are not that big. And somebody may think, but unless the building is extremely perfectly shaped and you could do a lot of things with it, usually there's a lot of unknown also in it's an old construction, demolishing, taking out off everything there's a lot of unknown. There's a lot of risk associated with that too. So we're ready to partner with the private sector in order to deliver those.